I asked you to design. We started discussing about arrays. And arrays, as we learned, arrays are used for reducing overhead, and arrays are used to reduce complexity, overhead and complexity. So arrays can reduce overhead by storing values in sequential order, and arrays will reduce complexity by storing multiple values under one name. You can store multiple values under one name by using array. That's how actually it works. Now, how arrays are configured, we will see. So first important, array configuration. Array configuration is nothing but array configuration contains two phases. Number one, declaration, declaring array. Another one, initialization of memory, initialization or assignment of memory. This is compulsory. For variables, declaring is enough. We can initialize values later, or we can assign values later. But array initialization of memory is compulsory. Either initialization or assignment is compulsory. Otherwise, you can't store anything in array. So memory initialization compulsory. For example, suppose you see we declare like this: let array name, and just put a semicolon. This is actually array created, but memory not allocated. If memory is not allocated, we can't store anything into it. What we have to do is to allocate memory for array. We can use one is, you can use meta character, square brace. Square brace is meta character. Or we can use array constructor. We have two options for allocating memory. You can use array meta character or array constructor. This is actually called meta character, and this is called constructor. These are two. What is a constructor? We will discuss in OOP concept, object oriented programming. So after declaring array, initialization of memory into array is compulsory. That means you have to do like this: initialization or assignment. Let array name, it's not enough, equal to meta character, or let array name is equal to new array constructor. What is extra in array constructor is we can mention size, but size is not limit. We can store more than the size, but we can mention size, and if we want, we can write a logic for restricting the size. Automatically it will not restrict size. As yesterday I told you, other technologies will restrict the size of array. But in JavaScript, you can mention size and you can change the size. Restriction of size, you have to manually write a logic for that. So, but you can declare array, but it is not enough. you have to initialize memory. Memory is initialized by using meta character or by using array constructor. You can use both. This is initializing. You know, we can use assigning also. Assigning means what? LET, array name. After that, we can access array name is equal to this. This is not initialization. This is assignment. Already we learned. Variable declaration, variable initialization, variable assignment. This is assignment. Or you can assign like this also. So LET array name, after that array name is equal to new array. You can do in this way. So first you have to learn how to declare array, how to assign memory for array. Now array is ready. You can store any kind of data into array. So arrays first configuration is this. Let's see. So we are using shopping, yeah. Here, so how to define array? We can just use. So array declaration means it can be in this way. We can have where some categories is equal to array. Or you can also use where products is equal to new array. As per the tradition, we give plural names for arrays. Why? Because arrays can handle more than one value. So that is a tradition. Category means only one. Categories means more than one, right? We use a plural name. That is a tradition for that. It's not mandatory, but that is regularly followed standard. Now into this, how to store data? Actually, we can have two techniques. That means we configure the array, their declaration, initialization, both done. Next, after configuring array, the second point is how we can store value, storing values into array. You configure the array is ready. How to store value? There are two techniques. You can initialize values, or another one is you can assign values. But difference is that actually initializing values, initialization will be like this. Initialization means LET. We have some categories is equal to meta character. Here we can put like electronics. It's a string type. We have like footwear. So it is a string type. Like this we can define. That is initialization. So you can put like this also. LET categories is equal to new array, into that electronics, into that footwear. Like this you can define values into array. This is initialization. How you can assign? Assignment is different actually. How we can assign is actually initialization is nothing but directly send values into array. But assignment actually sends value. So you have to send value by using property name. By using property name. Assignment, you have to send value by using property name. Initialization, you can send directly, but assignment, you have to send property name. What is property name means? See, actually, suppose we have here, yeah, suppose we have memory allocated for the array called categories. For categories, memory is allocated. When memory allocated for categories, in this we are splitting, the memory is splits into like this. That means under one name you can store many values, 2, 300, anything. So in this, actually, when memory splits, every memory portion have a index number 0 and 1. Actually, in this index number, there will be another 0, 1. This is called property name. So that means same name property will be there. Index name is 0, its property name is 0. In the memory, it is stored in index. But when you have to access, we will not use index. While accessing, we use these property names. So these are properties. This is property. And this is index. This is index. Many times, the people who learn general array related concepts in various technologies, they think that 0 and 1 are 0 and 1 are index. That's not index actually. That is property. Means it's not a number. It is a string type. String type. We will prove that point. We will see. That means whatever values are stored, that means suppose we have electronics. So that is electronics. So, and we have like footwear. So footwear. These are stored in memory with index reference only, but they are accessed by using property. Property is what type? String type. But you don't need to write as string type. That is the reason many times people feel like it is index, but actually it is not index, it is property. Let's see. So how to assign? After you declared and initialized memory, now categories of, usually people have a habit of writing directly 0. And in that, what you want to store? Electronics. That is what we want to store. But see what I am doing here. Categories, I am using string 1. And I say footwear. Footwear. Actually, it is also valid. Originally, it is string type. For example, I said categories of 2. And this is like fashion. That means now 0, 1, 2, even you don't write as string, they are string. That means they are not actually numbers. Let's prove that point here. See, not about value. Value can be anything. I told you now, suppose we will do one thing. First value I will put as 10. Second value is string. Third value I will put as true, boolean. Now let's see one small logic. I will just use that logic, later you will understand. Just see it. What I am doing is, I am writing a logic for reading property in categories. That means I am printing document.write. We will print the property. we will print the property. I am writing a logic to print the properties. And see here, it is going to print the properties. Properties means what? You can observe all the properties are printed. All the properties are printed like this 0, 1, 2. I will put a line break. You can see every property will print like this 0, 1, 2. Now we will try to understand what is their data type. Actually, to know data type, you can write a simple logic like this. You can write type of property. It will return what type property is. That means you see it says that property type all are string. But we thought that they are numbers. But actually they are not numbers. And they are string type. But generally people don't have an habit of writing them as string. They write as numbers. They think that they are numbers. But actually they are not numbers. They are string. So that string maps to same name number. That means in the memory 0. But its reference is string 0. So we have to use this string 0. And for that no need to write as string. Automatically it uses as string. Even you don't write as string, it uses as string. I will show one more here. So let's print the value type here. I am printing the value. What I will do is I will use categories of property. It is going to print the value. You see, it is going to print the value. And if we want to know the value type, I will use a logic for value type also. That means here I will use here value type. So value type I will do like this. Don't worry about this code. Next level you are going to learn about it. Just I am showing you the concept. So type of categories of property. And you can see it is going to print these value types. This is number, this is string, boolean. But properties are what type? String type. So how values are stored in an array? So if you want to assign, you have to assign with reference of property. If you have to initialize, you can directly initialize. For initializing, you don't need property names. Directly you can initialize. Property names are required only when you are assigning. And all the properties are what type? All the properties are string type. These string type properties will map to index. They will map to index with same name. That is the reason we feel like it is index. Actually, it is property mapping to index. So values are stored. Values are stored in two ways. One, initialization. So directly you can send values. Another, assignment by using property name. Property name means, so let categories is equal to array. Then categories of I am writing 0 is equal to some electronics like this. This is assignment. There is another point. Categories I can even write as a string type. It also will work. That means we will write here electronics and footwear. Like this, we can store data into array. Creating array, initializing memory for array, and storing data into array. That is the three basic things. Now, another option is how we can access array elements. How to access array elements? Same. Actually, we have to access array elements. So by using property name only. By using property name, you can access the array elements, or there is another technique these days in modern JavaScript we use by using destructuring technique. By using destructuring technique, accessing elements from array, we have two concepts actually. One is by using property name and by using destructuring. Property name means what? So here property name is simple. What we do, we will put categories. Categories means suppose I want to print document dot write. What is it? Categories. Categories is an array. In that, which one you want, you can access like this. You can write in a number style or you can write in a string. Anything you write, it will use as string. It will be using as string. So you can access in this way, property name. So that means suppose I will temporarily copy this program and keep it here just for this is an example for read property and value along with data type. This later you will understand that program I am just giving roughly, because just to prove that properties are string type and the values are which type? Number type. We have string and number types. Now we will see that is how to access by using destructuring technique. What is destructuring and how to access that? For example, see here, I am just storing categories. In the categories, I have electronics and I have like footwear. These things we have. So I want to access footwear, document.write, categories of, I can use one. I can write like this, I can use one. That means it will get that and it will display. So we can also use number like 0. So it will access electronics and show. We can use number or we can use property. But even you write a number, it is actually a property, string type actually. That is one option. Another is destructuring technique. Destructuring technique. Destructuring technique. What is destructuring technique? Nothing but, for example, suppose in this we have some lengthy data. See, we have one HTML is a markup language, and another we have CSS defines styles for elements. Now that means we have two strings here we are having. One is HTML, another CSS. Generally, how to access them? By using their property name, or we call index. Here I am using another technique where in the square brace we need two variables. That is why I am using square brace. One variable is HTML, another variable is CSS. Into those variables we will apply the categories array. That's it. This is called destructuring. JavaScript, new advanced technology onwards, we means advanced version onwards, we use this. And in all modern programming, we are using this very much. So that means what happens, what is present in the category, what is present in this category, that means HTML. This comes and stores here. comes and stores here. And what is present in CSS, this will come and store here. That means what happens here, the index comes here and it will store. Usually what is the point here? This value, zero value is present in HTML and one value is present in CSS, because these are the values of that array. So suppose you declared one more variable, but in array there is no variable, means there is no value, then it will be undefined. So you define this, that's very simple now. I don't need any index numbers and all, just document.write. I want to print HTML. I want to print HTML. Then whatever is in HTML, it will print. I want to just print CSS. Then it will print CSS. Whatever defined in that, it will print. That's a simple technique of accessing. So we have to access the elements by using two techniques we can do. One is by using the property name, another one destructuring. Destructuring is nothing but we have let variable 1, variable 2 and is equal to array name. That is simple. That means whatever the values are in that array, they will be stored in these variables. So this is an example for that actually. Destructuring, how it is done. This is a simple example for it. So technically configuring the values, and defining the values with reference here. So this is accessing values from array. Now another question here, another important question is, in array what kind of values you can store? So the frequently asked question is, what type of values we can store in array? What type of values you can store in array? Any type. That means you can store the primitive types, or you can store the non-primitive type. Even you can store functions also. Because array is just memory. Then if anybody asks what I can store in memory, anything you can store. There can be anything inside memory. There is no restriction for that. For example, see here, suppose I am creating array here where, so it is products array. In this, I am using some one. It is a number, it is a TV, that is a string, true, that is a boolean, and in that I am using another array, inside array, and in this array I have Delhi, it is a string, another Hyderabad, it is a string. Now here I am defining, suppose comma, I am writing here a function. I am writing a function inside array. And in this function, you can write any functionality. Suppose I am writing a functionality, document.write some hello from array. That is one simple function. And you see now here, I am using destructuring technique. Where, or directly you can access. Without destructuring, now tell me how to access Hyderabad. How to access Hyderabad? Document.write, how to access it? Array is products. Products of at where it is present 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. It is at 3. This is referring the value at 3. At that means this is the value at 3. Value at 3 is what? Arena, right? How to access an array at 3? Another square brace. So in that, what is the index of Hyderabad? It index is 1. That's how we do. Now you can see this is going to print the details. That means it gets the detail and show. How to run this function? I will put a BR. Okay. How to print, how to run that function? Products is an array. In the products array at 4, we have a function. So to access a function, is that function having any name? Function is not having any name. We call such functions as anonymous functions. Later we are going to learn about them. Anonymous function means function without name. You cannot give a name for function. So because it is already having a reference name. So what is that reference name for? In that reference name, function is present. Now how to access an anonymous function? Means at 4 function is present. How to access function? We have to use an empty parenthesis. To access anonymous function, we have to use empty parenthesis. Now you can see that it is going to access and display that function. So what you can store in array? We can store anything in array and we have to just access. So technically, this is a simple point to understand. We can store any type. Primitive types, non-primitive types or function. We can use a destructing technique, easy. For example, you see, I'm using a destructing technique. Destructing technique is where we have ID, we have name, we have stock, and we have cities, and we have hello. And all this is from products. Now what is cities? Array. What is hello? Function. So now I want to access them and use them here. Then how we can go here? I want to access document.write. So I will simply use here cities of 0. Cities of 0 is what? Delhi. That means it is going to access and display that. Right? That means it is going to use that reference. And this is individual. Okay. Now how to access function? Hello. That's it. Because that is the reference of a function. And function reference is accessed just by a parenthesis. This is how we can store data into arrays. This is another technique. What is it? It is a destructuring technique, how we can define. So, how to configure array, how to store values into array, how to initialize memory, how to access the values. These are basic things. Actually, to handle lot of manipulations on array, JavaScript provides array methods. By using these array methods, we can, method means predefined functionality. By using these methods, we can easily handle complex tasks. Otherwise, it's a very lengthy process. To easily handle the complex tasks, ready-made methods are present. What are those array methods we have? Actually, we will categorize the methods like, so methods for reading. So what are the various methods for reading elements? Reading elements from array. To read elements from array, we have toString. We can use join. We can use find. We can use filter. We can use slice. These are all for reading. For reading elements from array, we can use toString, join, find, filter, slice. ToString is nothing but it returns all array elements separated with comma. That means it will be separated with this comma delimiter. Join, so it returns all elements, So with custom delimiter. Custom delimiter means your own separator. It uses our own separator. Let's see first these two. That means here I'm just using some var categories is equal to array, some electronics, some footwear, and some fashion. We want to return all these. Then what we have to do is we have to just use document.write categories.toString. We can use toString. ToString will read all the elements and present separated with comma. We can also use in the next line, I'm using document.write categories.join. Join allows to use your own separator. I'm using my own separator. Some hyphen, and you can see it presents by using that. We can have a custom delimiter. So we have two important options. One is toString, another one join. You have another technique, map. Actually, it is an iterator. So that returns all elements and uses a custom presentation That means actually here map is very simple. See, suppose I am using a break again. Okay. Now here I am writing document.write. So here I am using categories.map. Suppose I am just using, see, categories.map. Map uses a function inside. We call it as a callback function. This function, okay, what this function will do, it will read every category from the categories. That means I will store that function will have a parameter category. Whatever categories are present inside, one by one it will read. After reading, you can present anywhere. Currently, we don't know other presentations. We will use ordinary simple presentation like this. See, document.write. I am presenting them in the form of list item. I am not creating any ordered list or anything, just list item. In list item, we will print the category. That means what it will do, it will read every item from this. Map is going to read every item from category and store inside this category reference. So, and it will print. And you can see now It is going to print all the categories. So displayed in this way. We can print like headings, we can print like divs, we can print like span. We can print in any way. Later we are going to learn different drop downs and options, how to print them. Initially it is this. Suppose I want to print like checkbox, then what you do? Simply checkbox or radio. Here what we do? Here we are using categories dot map. We will use a callback function. We will read every category. We'll read every category, and every category we will print document dot write. And here I am printing as input type is equal to checkbox, and beside it I want to print the category. I want to print the category. That means it is going to read every category and display as checkbox. I'm using a line break. After every checkbox, it will have a line break. That means map allows to read and present in your own custom presentation. Custom presentation, so many are there, I will explain. But this is one example. This is map. So we have three options here. So toString, we have join, and we have map. Let's paste an example here. For reading, we have even find, filter, slice. Actually, find is nothing but it returns the first occurrence value that matches the given condition. Filter, what it will do is it returns all values that match the given condition. That is what the difference between the find and filter. Find is going to return all, and filter is going to return all. Find is going to return only first. As of and slice, you know, already we learned string. What it will return? So it returns the values between specified index. Already we learned string slice option, that is same. So here how find works, see, same like map. But what map is doing? Map is going to return all. But find is not like that. For example, see, find and filter are not like that. So here where, so here we are defining some sales. Sales is equal to some sales, 40,000, 30,000, 46,000, 62,000, and some 54,000, like this. Now what I want is, I want to print the values which are greater than 50,000. Then what we have to do is, so we have to use sales dot, we have to use the option called find. Find uses a callback function. This will read every value. That means it is going to read every value, and we have to return the value greater than 50,000. Like this we return condition. That means what it will do? It will verify every value one by one. That means it is first taking this first value. It will verify, is that value matching or not? It is not matching. Then it will go to the second value. Second value matching or not? Then not matching. Third not matching. Fourth one matching. then it will return this fourth and it will stop. It will not go to next. That means find is going to get only first occurrence. First occurrence. So that means now, okay, it is returning where to store that returned value. We have to present the returned value. So we will do one thing. We will store this in a result. That means result contains the value coming from this function. And that result we have to print. So document.write, what is it? And you can see it is going to print only that. Find is going to get only one. This is example for find. Example for find. Filter is going to same like find, just change this find to what filter. Then it is going to return all that matching the condition. So find is returning only one and filter is returning all that matches the condition. Currently we are having simple data. Later we will have complex. Then we can apply complex filters. Complex filters like I want all products whose category is electronics only. I want all products whose category is fashion only. We can filter like that. That is actually find and filter. Next, important. After that, slice, no need to explain already, you know. How do we apply slice? So document.write sales dot what? Slice from 1 to 3. It will not include 3. That means it will be 1 and 2. That means it is going to print the values between 1 and 2 index. It will get that and it will use. This is simple how slice is going to work. These are the options. These are actually ready-made methods. Find, filter, map, toString, ready-made methods. We can use in another, we can use other options like you can also read elements from array by using for loops. We can use loops and we can use iterators. We can use loops and iterators. So loops and iterators, this you will learn in a concept called statements. Statements, when we learn about statements, if conditions, for loops, all these we will learn. After data type, we will discuss that. But when you are dealing with loops, actually, what is loop is nothing but generally loops actually they have initialization, condition and counter. They have initialization, condition and counter. Generally loops are written like this. So we have for where I is 0, that is initialization. I less than, so array dot length. Length means how many are there. Then I plus plus. That is how we do. That means what it is going to do, it is going to start from 0 index. It will end when length is matching. Means if five elements are there, up to 5. Now after reading first element, it will increment 1. Plus plus means actually plus plus is nothing but I equal to I plus 1. That means 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Next time will be 1, after that 2, 3, like that. But these days we don't use this. Loops are time wasting for arrays now. You will very rarely see people using these loops these days, because these days all modern programming looks for speed, right? Writing a for loop and working with it, it's those days gone. Now we use simple iterator. Advantage is iterators are nothing but iterators can read without initialization, condition, and counter. Without initialization, condition, and counter, we can read them. Actually, we have two iterators. One is we can use for var item, means value of collection. We can use value of collection. What is this of iterator will do is it will read every value from collection. That's it. Whatever present in array, it will read every value. It's a very simple one. You don't need to tell where to start, where to stop, how to increment. This is called iterators. These are more faster now. So you have to just collect every value of that collection and use it. So simple now. Actually here, I want to read all these cells. What we do now? So for var item of what sales, and we have to just print that item, document dot write item plus br, means after that item line break. That means it is going to print all. We have another option. Instead of we can use in. It will print all properties. So that means we have for off. So off is for reading all values, all values. We have another option we can use for var property, for var property, for var property in what collection. It will read every property from the collection. Read every property from the collection. This is all properties. If I want to read both properties and values, actually you can do like this. So this is reading what property? Property in sales. Property we are printing. Okay. It is printing all the properties. It is printing all the properties. I will put this property name in a square brace. Then we will do one thing. We will write backtick in square brace. We will print the property. That means all property names are printed in square brace. So I will put br. This is going to print everything like this. How to print the values? Simple. Actually, we have to just put an expression. Sales. Sales is array. Array of property. Array of property means 0, 1, 2, 3. First time it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Then it is going to read both properties and values. That is actually the array technique, how you can manage. So to reading values, working with values, these are all required. We have for in and we have for off. So reading values by using iterators. Two iterators are there. What are those iterators? We have off and we have in iterators. This is basically how these options will work. This is all just only reading value from array. Reading value from array. How to add values into array? That's simple. For that, actually, adding new elements into array. For that, we have three methods. We have push, we have unshift, and we have splice. Three options are there: push, unshift, and splice. Difference is nothing but push adds a new item as last item. It can add one item or multiple items. So unshift will adds new item. So new items. Item means one or many as first item. Unshift will add as first item. Splice adds new item at specified position. At a specified position. This is how we can manage. For example, see here what I am doing. I am using here categories. Let's go where categories is equal to, so here, or say simply like cities, is equal to some city, Delhi and Hyderabad. And I am printing for where item or say city of what cities. We are reading every city, document dot write, we will print the city. So it is reading every city from the array and it is printing. Now I want to add a new city. So before reading, I will use cities dot push and I will put Bangalore. So where it will add as last item. I am using, instead of push, I am using unshift. It will add as first item. Suppose I want to add at any specific position, then we use splice. At which position to add? At 1. Okay, 1 means after Delhi, comma. Already at 1 there is Hyderabad. Do you want to delete? No. 0. Understood? That means where you want to add, how many you want to remove from there. We don't want to remove anything. That is compulsory to mention. 0 and add Bangalore there. So I am using this and you can see it is going to add Bangalore here. Now I am adding one more item. Any number of items you can add. Suppose some item. This is also added after it. You can have one or multiple. So this is adding item at any specific index. For that, we have this option. That is a simple one, how we can add elements into array. Similarly, remove elements from array. For this, we have options like pop. Pop is nothing but removes the last item. So item is removed. We have shift. What shift will remove? Removes the first item. What else? Splice. Splice is for both adding and removing. It removes specified item. Right? That means now you can see here, I am already adding some Chennai, some Goa like this. And usually it is going to print all of them. So I am using cities.pop. Then it is going to remove Goa. That will be removed. I am using, so here cities.shift. Shift is going to remove the first one, that is Delhi. I want to remove Hyderabad. Then how? We want to remove Hyderabad. How to remove Hyderabad? So we have to use cities dot what? Splice. From index 1, how many to delete? 1. That's it. From index 1, how many to delete? Only 1. Then it will delete that one. I want to delete 2. So Hyderabad and Chennai, it will delete both of them. How many items to remove, from which position to remove? We need to configure all this. This is removing items. We have another important option, that is sorting items, sorting elements. We have two options, sort, another reverse. Sorting is nothing but, suppose we have some elements, some Bangalore, so Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi. You see, this is not in order. So we are printing these cities. They will print in the same order how you define. But I want to sort them alphabetically. This before printing, you have to use cities dot sort. Then you can see it will simply sort A, B, C, D like that. Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Goa, Hyderabad. And remember, reverse is not descending order. Reverse is not descending order. Reverse order. That means Bangalore, Goa, Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi like that. That means Bangalore, Goa, Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi. Then if I want descending order, what we have to do is, first we have to sort. On the sort, we have to apply reverse. Then what it will do? It will first display in ascending, after that descending. That is how it is going to manage. This is the reverse order, how it is going to apply. These are the options. Now we have to use all these options and see how to design one example by using the arrays, right? That we'll see next session, right? First you need to practice all this. Then tomorrow with arrays